정말 짰을래. So, 다다링아, 얘기 합다직 냐리나, 니마쭉 냐리나 타마직 얘기 인스타그램 날 얘기지 팀바, 다린 얘 유튜브 날nga 투어 챌린지 제일amba. 남주는가 투어 챌린지 여기 망고된데 지메요 유튜브 날로. So, 얘기 투어 얘 결혼한테 투어 가리가 용아 유튜브 날 answer 징이 라두가라, ngala 여기 망불레시, 투어 여기 망불레시요. And for that reason, I try to make myself a little bit presentable. Lipstick mau choa chimba. Karena nang lipstick mau ye mau droya. Chu meran tan chu shamba. So I'm going to start and yine mi ID chick dura odi korongira tiwa ye mau kusha tiwa ye mau kusha. Tiwa gashi chu me gerunda. Hodu zonga lenga me odi ID di tiwa nis ni lenga ba. 아니 이네가 저 챌린지가 part 1 2 3 4 and in the same. So the first question, anyways, thank you so much for the tour the zukuela tuchanang lamba. And I'm sorry this video is going to be a little bit longer than the usual that I make. So please bear up with me, lajo. So the first one is why you are not at collegal this losar lasra. Yeah, last year nga losar dore, so this year ta nga madu go do samsa. 아니 달로 줘야라면서 maybe next year nga guarantee 도시 줘야니 어디 체 아니 do you have any fears Sarah do you have any fearless it doesn't seem Sarah fear failure if yes how do you deal with it Doslantish actually shana you had Doslantish do you have any fear Doslantish but it doesn't seem like ngala shenang de yo do mindu duslasra. So it's not that I don't have any fear, nga fear me yo de me yo, nga fear mang yo mangu pe yo, mang try yo. And I do try to portray that into some of my vlog kashe na nigi. On the floor kejagal do gala fear kashe jini yo December na ni lagor pena cha shower ujina. Ngara pugal ina lendani. So tanya pudi ngono ko shu ragi yena la tan super fear kisi shu mara ro ta nga khadu kagam ta ko dil chu yena anya jiga ta mizil ta nga khari gari nga ngara tonina nga khari gari chu yena la je fear je ra ta tanya mizi de khandi ro jung yena nga cherung bu den digi yena dene ro chagi so I have a lot of fears so these are some of the stuff that I want to fear me yo dene mario 주도 따도 거야 알체 fear 매교나 인지도 통구이죠. 칼라 비디오 레디 아주 니마숨 시 나로 차가스 가만 이슈스 미스고 말에 so I do have a lot of fears little 칼라 지요 fear you 아니 do you have any fear okay fine you are so strong mentally how to be pakpatupu like you 수레제 nga pe strong 통구도 살아 아니 ngal pakpa thubu khandi chigurasa ta pakpa thubu den nga Africa den mida me ya pakpa thubu den lana pakpa skin khorong gi thubu le jo almale den mar pakpa thubu ro lana I know what you're trying to say kyo khale na mi gi la ngotang tön joya jo la gora ta ngotang ma de rang de ro jire sha khai lan tingsang gi chi zo di nang lo las tingsang gi chi zo di nang lo la pakpa thubu ma china zawan nang ne yung su sa mare sle almale. So yes, pakpa thubu da misang ma chigurasa especially when you reach a certain age, you become a lot of 아주 망부지기 망부지기 surrounding 망부지기 있다니 정말 얘인데 정말 신앙구데 정말 칼라오라 가를 쌈 되게 해나란 pakpa thubu 잘 갈래 하고 그랬어 무더라. ngaro jina ngara loji chi galle chadu gala I naturally people do become pakpa thubu lagura pakpa thubu rashi me chagido into really okay what would you tell your younger self less if she can hear you less what would I tell my younger self that if tanga dudu ani ni ma la ta line samsio I would definitely say 타마디 마퉁나 약부 쉬우 중사를 삼해줘 직동 자두가 로망 뽀 직동 자두가 I know 단단가 인데 칼라오레 빵마 투어 인데 다 말이 but 이네 nga try 지기와 but it becomes ngal diskal에 하부디요 and maybe at the back of my mind nga 빵기 메로 삼기기려 so it's suppose if I would tell my younger self, what I would say, don't smoke. Don't ever smoke lejo. Don't ever do it lejo. What do you miss most other than your kids list? Of course, I miss myself when I was a kid lejo. So, what is the top 3 most important things in life that you learned? Ta nye gi mizi nang lo ra, ta nye mizi nang lo ngal jang dong mang bu ra yo re, di mang bu ra yo re. Ama ngara ngara ke yu ya dish, mai kyun de orda ta de bi yo ke ya dish ya. What are 3 most important things what I've learned in my life is probably there are many stuff, but what I would like to say is that don't ever give up on yourself, Lajara. If you have faith in yourself, you can do anything, Lajara. I've learned that. And what I learned is that ngaju samjam mi gi khar lagi na mi gi chik samgi mena mi gi sum samgi mena this mau pe samgi doya dunju ra chawa ni ra tanga experience digam san ra chawa ni ra mi langa di ta khari sam na sam because at the end of the day nobody thinks of you, understood? So I've learned that in my life that mi du 가져 뭐 가져 concern yo 로 가져 뭐 가져 카 당기 yo 로 가져 뭐 가져 love yo 동도 yo 가져 뭐 가져 때려 당기 yo it never stays, so don't ever feel bogged down by people's opinion la jora only that's ngadu di 장동배 약보라서 sumba if suppose you believe in kharta kyoron ra chigo samgu dinara go forward it la do shajo nga 용사 말해 nga chitu 말해 엔디체만 마서 맞체 do shajo. I think these are the top three things that I have learned in my life. Then we have, how do you deal with depression? Depression it's a very big term, depression it's almost like an disease la or illness la or sometimes this nyopta rocha, sometimes heartbreak rocha, sometimes maki rocha. Everybody categorize that as being a person being in depression la. That's not called depression. Depression and a mengal dora dawa nya or psychological help dora del chur ya chimachin. So I don't think I've gone under depression at any moment in my life, but lo sumnya nga tamachik depression so depression then tanda drawing manu I don't think I drawing something. So oh my god, do you realize more and more with life what is the biggest wish? What is your biggest wish for yourself? Not kids, more personal. What is my biggest wish, Lamba? More of my personal stuff other than pugu men tang lemba pugu men tang law do jina around do jina wish to la wish to the men some wish because these days I take life as it is, nyima get by chi shejo nyima the mata wish ma bo nyima lenda nyima tudu nyima oh the wish ya ngati chi ta wish to mi ta wish la ta wish rang chin den na chö me ju wish ro den me ta wish me ngal I just survive, I just go day by day, this is any different life experience ro how do you deal with anxiety, Lasra? I take a little bit of break or else I call up one of my friends, talk to them, and I smoke a lot, so I think that's how I deal with depression, anxiety. Anyways, anxiety me how do you decompress after a stressful day, kissing all pugu the stressful day do chow do genera go to sleep. Do you have any siblings? Yes, I do. I have one brother. He's in the great United States of America. Found that's one other ID which said found covert narcissist Tibetan YouTubers. Shall I expose him or her in Facebook and Instagram? Are you going to do sex with? Oh my God! 처음 이제는 저거 are you planning to find a job or waiting for Dugda to get school in Paris? In fact, I'm doing both ledger. Right now, I am searching for a work. I am searching for a job, but I still haven't got it. Interview thanda ora interview ni joy ra. Nima tama jik joy dine len chelem. Nyeja jik joy thanda dosa story. So I haven't got any word. Ani yes, of course. Na kizi tanga dura aji tuju gorugi do samna nga lega gozuwe. Thari randa be sangi randa na ni garanda khadu randa nga gozuwe ba. Serious concern for me, Lasra. Can money buy happiness? Can money buy happiness, Les? था दी ठेवा दे कुछ सुम ठेवा ये कले हाबुज कुछ कौन बनेगा करोड़पति की ठेवा कले खाशे जो दी कुछ ले जा मीची घर लक्षण does money buy happiness, Lasra? I don't think so. Dende na mi 가시 pesha yo nyagin de doya kunsul pesha thande be pesha khajo ma ran dunsu yaga ma kiba do any yor ni samgin da but yes, to have a lot of money odi this the security ro da chagi do akchi yo nga o nga miji long chu jela nga pesha da kangi me nga di tension de la do o nga da chi khang la nga khan de go na lo ri de nga ha de go na di semle di test nyong du ri yo but ni khara pesha yuna ani happiness your lady the race some give me because happiness always belongs to yourself, your inner self. So sabak you na rangshi me happiness li race some tumara on the right ani ni ke pe yokushi because the top budra I don't want to take so much of my time, any advice on LDR less LDR lani then lana dil is long distance relationship lagi sarra. I know I love her, but we fight a lot less. Every relationship has a lot of fights, lots of up and downs, So I guess it's about you trust the other person, even no matter how long of a distance. Sorry guys, honestly, di for retake kal do me something. One take koranga dress jamanya pomu phone lesa, so I had to pick it up. On the chair, ani cost of chima tema mindra. So I don't think money buys happiness. I don't think money buys happiness. It does buy you, it does buy you security, but not happiness. Okay, so his feelings has been fade sir. All of a sudden sir, and left me in a bad shape. What should I do? Okay. His feelings has been fade. Kogi feeling the fate chashasa probably feeling the fate chashasa raya ani nga pe samba pam de left me in a bad shape. What should I do, Sarah? You can do nothing about it. Kajilana mi chama relationship langa de su khanje force chicho maria force chebe yo mari khare chala de chadu gala guarantee be yo mario. Sometimes feelings relationship chikkal they do. Sometimes when we stay with that person for a certain period of time, the bond becomes stronger, and sometimes the bond just breaks. So there's no formula or anything like that. What I would advise lana kisi ko kyoron feeling made or lagi tungu che kyoron kal lagi ne kyoron lagi his feelings has faded do lagi fade China. There's nothing that you can do about it, Deal that digi Tuesday store utilize Shampazil Chidena, Yaga Sangudra, for example, Nesha or Rogina. Anzu Chule the Medo Lashdoa. Artificial medo del gigi medo in Bashasta Nanglara, gigi medo de Langazura, Chulu, Denaraya, Halamashuki, Kimarwa. It doesn't blossom chagumar. What is that? And medo money, chulu, it blossoms. So when two people are into a relationship, chal de duala, kogi kyoron feeling do shira mechin, kyoron artificial medo chulu or the chipa do chadu. Okay, it doesn't blossom. Understood? So it's best to leave it like that, and I'm sure there are better things waiting for you. Mara, all the best. What is your opinion about different culture and religion marriageless? Ngala in the digana now namdo laidel karguchi me mara. Kyoranjura kisi if suppose you meet somebody who's other than Tibetan guy Laura 배우 부인이래 배우 부모인이래 you know when we meet someone you know who's from one another ethnicity laura nationality ethnicity laura and it ojin but ojin if suppose you both get along really well you know I think that's more than fine you know nga dinde gala nawa namdo khashi ya nawa namdo mo pi chigda ngal dinde me so if you feel you know you found the love of your life in one another mirik shamba jel kyoro tusu samgun go forward mara no long distance relationship ke 단지 long distance relationship ke 아니 how you managing everything all aloneless 가지고 마치란지래 지고 두도 지금 징에 매장 알아 마치는 징에 민도 마치란지래 슬래죠 when lovers don't pick up calls what to do less can't forget less what to do if lovers don't pick up calls what to do less can't forget no less 다양하게 근데 말아야 가시 너야 irritating 된 너 relationship을 대두월라 치료 찍도 하다 폰 말다 했다 내저 가르치기 수잘로에 가지 저저 가서라 로 용기면 미 가시 너 irritating 너 혼나 죽이다 어딘도 말아야 이게래 얼마래 so kiss yeah try to answer it by yourself 결혼 삼노땅라 try to be very honest with yourself you know are you all the time nagging 님마다고 phone 땅니 딱바 nag 가시도 nag 제거도 님마다고 nagging 제 딱딱딱 암주 저기도 nga로 봉아 김에도 오시다래라 nga래 베니 망골라들 nga irritate 제디요 so I know there are a lot of girls like women like who love to nag all the time over the phone you know 가지게 계속 자리에 캐치해서 아주 응게 냐냐냐냐냐 암주 해줘야 so you ask that question to yourself very honestly do you nag a lot of times lejo 아니 칠로라도 누가라 바르바 폰도 땅 바르바르 녀도 자는 수이는 여부라 just to avoid a little bit of drama and probably and 그런 거기 phone pick up 지기 메인들이요 can happen huh 아이빠 미약다 됐다 아니 when are you going to India I'll go next year 아니 아자les any encouraging words to Chogande he also robbed as you might have already heard sa di thiwa dinga thongdungala nga didugala kyongal as you might have already heard lajo no I haven't heard about it at that point of time but yes after you post me this question di thiwa di kyongal kuada ni hagoso mi wanguji Instagram la post chido anju Arbaz Khan la MT gi sa khara sabadela kol mi shi gi judo juni an kogi fight kortar do ko tushum lanyo 어디도 하고 마서 저도 그도 가라 but yes I've heard about it and any word of advice lasra he got robbed as you might have already heard las di chera shabajian ranja thodo ro chkush samse ni se challa shawra did you watch Gandhi vlog lasra 4 Indian skinny men sir attacked him lasra he didn't give a fight back las कुछ भी हो सकता है आजकल खजला ना गांधी लंगा दी को दिरे दो को फरका चला ये viewers हा को में ना को निमा ये Instagram live ला निमा हाशे जे ओस मंगो join चिर we just have banter you know banter all the time plak ला दिया जो so गांधी vlog ला को ला empty की सांबा दे लो को जिंबा जु खंजो मंजो चिदवा वारे वार ले जो पे डाया वो को मिशी ल जिंगशा 미시 징체 코 간데 로징이나 예 하고 마스라 코 슈지 부슝 해줘 코 징이라 이도야 야 미르 징이리야 니디 코니 코로 벳 코로코 디 아르바스 칸이라 고레 코롱기요 아니 고네 징이리다 아니 하고 마스야 아니 미시데 간 라케도 사 미직 스니스온다 예베니 부슝 나 테서레 이네 코 픽자 히로 코 아르바스 칸라고 코타 가리 이네 지도 코 디 니마도 코 레더 자켓 건도야 레더 코 나쁘디 onde tyo de pekale hagu chasyo anyways word of advice though de me ko khoro zingi leidina zingi jere ani I hope next time na me the empty bridge la do gola tadu ya ta pha ta jablo ta chu ta por ta ro chis lemba tyo ni ja lenja sa ignoring your question by husband is a sign of what 다 게임이 주더라 목이 티와디 뭐로 켜가디기 목 하든 티와 그도가 켜가디라 켜가디 예제 얘기 있어 말아 근데 다 is a sign of what 때 가르 니 켜가디라 니게 티와 가르고 있는 찔린 얘기면 살아 what I would like to say is that, sometimes, women, as a female Laura, we think that pulanga do samno tangdang aju da chikpare samajo in the mare pu samno tangda bet khaga ryo aju samno tangda khaga ryo. We don't think alike. That's why, emotion like tyondang be khaga yor. So in case tani example shagi dira kyorong lana kyorong gi kyoga gi jo mangu pe ignore chigdu like do probably ya kyorong gi thiwa khare do thiwa dia emotion gi base kana kyoro thiwa this emotion ga kyoro thiwa do chku gi na kyoro kyoga gi ignore do chi gi na probably it's his way of dealing with negative circumstances laura negative circumstances khashe jille du gola mi khashe expressive mi do especially pudunju ye expressive mewa kunju ya keja pura negative thoughts da negative thiwa du ke me du gi kurdu gala they can't face that emotion they face chima tu ache kunju they withdraw themselves kunju withdraw cha da withdraw cha 아니 코나조 갈라오래 삼르던데 오케이 다디 제라 디 기승아 디 템바 제워로지나 아니 프로블럼 디 솔브 차기래 삼 구주 삼점 페이지 게메도 주기 지원 낙보내를 구두 구주 랭자 두고민도 아야 and anyways let's be very honest we always say as a woman we always say that we love vulnerable men like the pe gagidu lagorio but it's only on paper 아주 tablet 치 치워도 찍버렸어 가나나 who wants a guy who's always crying all the time 아주 치워지고 어디 emotion 찍갈 깨제 직시도 걸 가두는 and you don't find that very attractive we 아주 가두는 somewhere we want a guy who's a little bit this tough exterior do 된다 찍요 인디가 아주 this more attraction leader the ajo pu vulnerable pe go ye maybe once in a while in Giria but not all the time a guy who's being vulnerable won't be friend zone ajo shagi mara de vulnerable pura anta somebody cheshajo so I guess you need to ask you need to step back a little bit please chema step back ne kyo husband cha dedu gola ha gogo re husband gi circumstances khari mo khari roji ni be kuju deal khande chigim ti kyo ha go gyur so I guess I would suggest that you step back a little bit and when sometimes confrontation the khari mo khari chikle du gola when there are a lot of drama involved and men tend to avoid drama in their life did I talk like urvashi rotala gi thwa chikku du gola pra line kor jand on do chase okay, Les. Is it okay to go off a long-term friendship, Les, if it's not serving you or make you happy, Les? How to deal with it? Long-term friendship, avoid deal with if suppose it doesn't bring you any more happiness, Les. Yes, I'm sure, because mire and everything has an ending and some friendships do though aju samsa rokpa pe gyurungbo chepe deep bonding khajum hajul rojiyo rojinara at a certain age at a certain time there are circumstances where we are forced to end friendship Laura so if suppose you feel that it doesn't serve you anything better 저런 미진아를 serve shire 지금도 happiness 디갈 friendship 디갈 되는 게 emotionally drained 자기도 and we don't speak the same language tola sam기도나 sambanalra yeah I think it's completely fine but then at the end of the day it all depends on how deep your friendship is and what it brings it to your life but when you say that it brings a lot of negative emotions in your life then I guess it's best that you end it it's completely fine. We are not immortal. It has to come to us and at some point of time. So I guess. What makes you excited about life, Les? For me, everyday thing, little things makes me very excited. Like tangasani dojina, tangasani nga di chala nga khalas hardo, and it makes me very excited. So like I said, every little things makes me very happy, makes me very excited. Sometimes every little thing irritates me. I'm going like. So long term 되는 거 다들 오나 wish to some last 한지 이제 가르고 싶네. When are you doing Sarah third marriage and invite us when are you doing third marriage first of all 타마 당보들 창사 개메라 단다도 미래 지고 용이 되네 좋은 맛으로 안 가서 창사 강하게 쉬어래 줘 기세 장사 타마 당보 얘기인라 타마 숨보 얘기니 시와 얘기인라 니 결혼 예 guarantee 니 있겠다 홀라 if you could relive one day in your life, which would it be and why? Less probably I would definitely go back into 2000s Laura. The year dingala, it was not a very bright year for me. I could relive one moment. Definitely I would go back to that year. Didu nyegi pala betungre ngara del France ngara del Paris ne pe ngala ngara personally ngala pe problem abu chungri ora. So if suppose I could relive one day not day, I would definitely could have relived the whole year, Laura. I could have done something that I could have, made it possible for me to go and see my dad for the last time. On the chair, do you think relationship without intimacy is possible? Definitely not. 그 거우지 잘 되도록 인티메시 체면 간데 가고 진도라. 아주로 오늘 지금 거기 왜나라. It's very natural that we have intimacy. And intimacy the lead arang shime. The penecha do jina and roll out ni go do ji partner chira conse join but just tawchik ni ringa yo. Tawchik ni ringa drodugala ani ya ledugala roya. Ani ko yalle odo jana doing bad chudi khandi chungso in the location di mara. You are going to jump first thing what you do you jump jagro o kire nyesa na tigre tulu mulu khare apta chigire andi jan suyu an chini an khande chungso an yeba khare kiye ro lagire mindo and then intimacy is very important for me intimacy is very important 결혼 될 지와 디구다 relationship possible without intimacy definitely not lejo 아니 페이스북 날에 배치와 같이 굴려셔 베트 아또 데 가지란 디니 아지디 인스타그램에 니 다이렉트 페이스북 날에 배 두어라 attach라서 티와 페이스북 날에 티와 같이 질려셔 아또디 where is it 아니 아자라스 I heard that you were going I heard that you were going around with Nagri Aja I heard you were going around with Nagri late in the night in one hotel room is it true Abhi daya ko CID mind jido the some that somebody has seen me एक आदमी और एक लेडी ने मेरे को होटल रूम के अंदर एक नगरी के पास किया ओ बात सच है कि नहीं ले जाओ के दिल ऐसा ओ दिमोने रे कुछ मिला माला रोची ती खारी छिरे लाना 참 미카시 질리기도 와 미카시 참 잘 학방 아큐 속보 열달라기도 아니 속보는 킨 누구 회사라고 거 누구 여기면 딩아이 하고 마서 so 아니 딩아 하고 마서 얼마래 so what I mean to say is that 참참 미카시기라 they spread so much of rumors around that ngaranzo 하마고 요된도 도야 아니 아주 출라라 아니 삼해져 칸네 속보도 미시아바지 킨 도메나 안 디니마 인도로 치메나로 삼해져 참자 믿은 속보 열달라는 키줘야죠 어디로 매나 삼해져 온딜라인 okay Ajalas my boyfriend says he loves me less but he irritates me non-stop less I want a guy who makes me happy sa Ayopa, kya karega Ajalas, my boyfriend says he loves me less, but irritates me non-stop less. I want a guy who makes me happy, Sarah. More puji go is a pay, you must have a cute in Shani, you Ani, mal irritate them, which you do, Sarah. What I make a suggestion, it's all from my own perspective, Linda. I think it's great, that you have a boyfriend, who irritates you non-stop. Sometimes that's very much needed, because, when you are in a relationship with somebody, who's very stable all the time, their feelings is always very stable, it doesn't give you any kind of an excitement in your life. It's always like very stable, very sweet, very kind, This cheap. Excitement, it's good that you have a boyfriend, you irritate sometimes irritate and sometimes you long lang to your sometimes you pay go so I guess mi nang lo ra ya emotion na de chamba chang da jik lung lang ya do samda bad ko nam do sa do den do chamba jik se sho do nga ge yo me pang go mi di dong ba piu do mi pek pa lu pek pa do di dong ba ta yo me sa ma do den do samdam ya jik go jik chi du ko ama ish ta mi di men ta nga de go tu sam ra ma mi di da nga samja mi di dress up chi a ki mi di 지가 chuang ga de ye lucky ra ko do nga ran samja mi de jam nam do long ga ni shu gulu pek ba de ye mi zina khar chal lo re samay ro de do odun zani ya pura sam ga na it makes your emotion very much alive, you know. Khatin indi chigra ti lan do na heartbeat indi do na this board cha samara. So I think it has to go, you know, up and down. Ani kyurong boyfriend kyurong gagi dulab digal ra kyurong gi emotion pura spark chige na. I think, you know, that's great, you know. Di yapura sam budi ya. A relationship doesn't always have to be like very monotonous laura. Okay? Ani di chera thanda there was another one. Oh, okay. Aja Saraya, one of my friends, the Twani in the chick nara. Aja, one of my friends, whenever I go to her house, she makes sure that her husband, massages her hair, oils her hair. She is a bit show-offless. Is that okay to be a bit show-offless? 다디 저도 가르치고요라나 애들하기 있어. 로바지 나 누구였어? 로바디 창작 야사교들이 있어. 아니 뭐 가디는 종모들 내도 걸 나라라. 아니 교가들아 뭐골 마사지 땅 줘로 된다. 이제 담아는 치주도 살아. so 뭐로나 통도 뭐로 종모로 뭐로 통모로 이제 끼우면도 있어. 다 된데 약부 이나면 다 딩아 하고 메라 정말 to be honest. But you know personally speaking 예 라오로 지나나 too much of display of emotion, you know. Too much of display of PDA laura PDA. Oh, dunzu public platform la mangbuji tundu wala. It means to show that you are very insecure. Insecure jiya inji meji migila tungu aro pe kejung butungu da kunjuyo. You see, you know, ajogi chidani relationship 가주 strong 차 연애래라 가주 끼바 연애라 페이지로 social media platform 이네베레 미길라 뜬거야로든 인디 개중부레 인디 지라실 뜬게 요만 it's always the insecure ones, you know, who wants to show all the time that, you know, oh relationship 빼 아무도 요라 직 미길 public 뜬거야로죠 인디로 차기도 인디로 체 아 네가 네 라오다 갈람서 룸지 참았어 니마 김에지도 교가지 김에지 줄라 도두가라 뷰저서 뷰디그라 아마 뷰 가우들 잘 식두로 치치 아마 디 워드 마 쳔레 다와 다 치치 슈치 되어서 게메디 교가 된다서 따달스 통고되었어 뷰디 게메들 칸데 전부 지기도 알았으라 교가 될라스 레레레 딱다레라스라 아니 야야 스저도 걸라야 게메드 통어서 파스들라 타이거 직다 타이그레스 직다 타이거 직라 파주 사이드라 there's kimedi there's choga de pasai la there's trimnagal nya there's kimedi doaji shingno shimbaji gala there's kimedi las toi tadalas ta choga kimedi do dwellers chigni phagel nya de chigni del inde do chin de shalas gojusa choga de re las des dealers kugilam sagor doji ya dursa doji dunra kugi karza lioness jera lioness tigress de la yours ta lioness land durta yours and doji de yodra lamsongoro tiger de ra ni nya ine be hakodo 가라 람속으로 총괄을 사오야 람속으로 tigress 듀를 렌로 쑥 도슈나 섬을 총괄을 고자 안나서 교가들라서 테스트할서 도지 야주사 뷰디 오도 게식도 준수 데데서 디탈 도지 이제 시어서 도지 요들라 뷰드라 저 게메서 동냐고 진짜 트렌드로서 뷰디 굽디 마우마우스도 어디 굽 땀지고 괜찮아 트레서 하고서 so you know 어디가 좀 대사야 가질라나 sometimes, you know, too much of display of affection public gala to do gala just because, you know, 미기 통당데 따두걸 슈지 인다 메나도 저 슈지 사레 samgu yiriyo but it doesn't happen like that, you know. Display of too much of affection on public 딘데갈 용두가라 단데 쿄 그두가라 저 종모디 야 maybe 종모디 야 교란도 통라닝 주모데네 착도 사인기라 니 교가 쇼도 메나선 야 교가 들갈 골 마사지 따쇼 갈에 될놈 추쇼 라이는 라기 you never know, you know? So 엔디로 진지리야 so Facebook nalola sara ani tell me a shortest joke on stories. Tell me one shortest joke on stories to lasra. The story nya thandarang dum dishes o digarang digre to sangudra. So I guess my life is going to nani pet jurungu to. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching thanda chho chilen de tak tak do yure ani thank you so much all the time. Chudong ala pe support ya and I love you.